morning. It is Tuesday. It is no longer Monday, and wow, are we happy about that. Yeah, hello, this is WGTV Today. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Bess. Good Tuesday morning, September the 10th.
Indeed, it is the 10th already. Can you believe that? September?
I know.
Fall right around the corner.
School has started. Everybody's been back in for a while now, getting the routine down pat.
Yep.
But it's still nice, warm weather.
It is nice and warm, but I'm telling you, you really can't complain about the weather we've had this summer.
Oh, no.
It's just been beautiful.
It has. I mean, we've had a lot of rain.
A lot of rain.
But it has not been your traditionally in the 100
That's right.
temperature.
That's right. We've had many fewer days.
Oh, absolutely.
Of 100-degree temperature.
That's
weather.
right.
All right. Let's see what we have here. Who's on today's program?
On today's show, we have Marty Anderson. He is an engineer with the city of Goldsboro. And, he's going to give us details and information on what that job entails.
Right.
We also have someone in who's going to explain WAYNET, that particular program here in our community.
That's right. It's non-emergency transport. WAYNET is a non-emergency transport that's for people who need transportation to the doctor's office, that sort of thing. And we'll explain all that when Nanette Sutton comes in and talks to us about that. And
then we're going to have a reader come in and read a story from Wayne County Public Library.
Oh boy.
We're going to do that every so often, and that's just going to be very interesting and glad to have them on board.
And a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Birthdays today include Arnold Palmer.
Happy birthday, Arnold.
All right. He is 83. In fact, the way he looks at it, he's
is he really?
83. If he shoots an 83, if he shoots his age, it's not a good game.
Wow.
For him.
I guess
of course, now he's 83. You know, can he shoot 83 is what I would wonder. Anyway, he's won 4 Masters tournaments.
That's
amazing. He received that green jacket 4 times. That is amazing. Joe Perry having a birthday. He happens to be one of my favorite actors. He can do anything at all. And if you don't know Joe Perry, think back to... it's not the Joe Perry I'm thinking of.
Oh.
This is another Joe Perry.
There's more than one?
Yeah, there's Joe Perry of Aerosmith.
Yes.
He's 62 today.
Yes.
Can you believe that? Lead guitarist, high-powered rock band Aerosmith, Joe Perry. Jose Feliciano having a birthday today. He is 67. I guess his biggest hit was Feliz Navidad.
There you go.
You hear that a lot at Christmas time, but he's done so. Come On Baby, Light My Fire was another one of his big hits. 67 today. Guy Ritchie having a birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Former husband of what's her name?
Heather Locklear.
And Madonna.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He was married to Madonna for a while. He's 44 today. Randy Johnson had ties here in North Carolina. He was the pitcher for Arizona. Former Mariner. He is known as the Big Unit. He pitched a perfect game for the Diamondbacks at age 40.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, wow. Anyway, he's 49 today, and he came out of the Raleigh area, I believe. Birthday today for Dan Benson. He is an emerging actor who's best known to TV audiences as Zeke Beakerman on Disney's Disney's Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yes, all the young kids know that show.
Yeah, Dan Benson, he's 25 today. And Bill O'Reilly, controversial news talk guy who actually owns television.
How old is he these days?
He's 63.
He's a young guy.
Yeah, he is. Thank you for saying that.
Of course.
Yes, he is. 63, host of the popular political commentary program, The O'Reilly Factor, and a former school teacher.
I did not know that.
He is a former school teacher.
Okay. How does he feel about education? We won't get into that.
He thinks everybody should be educated.
Well, okay. There you go.
No, he's a very smart man, and he is very outspoken about education. He's written several books.
I would think so as a former educator.
Yes, several books, and is actually quite intelligent. A very brilliant man.
Well, there you go.
There you go. All right.
Want to remind you, City Council will have their next meeting. We'd love to have you join us on Monday, September the 16th. Mark your calendars if you would like to attend. The work session will begin at 5 o'clock, and the regular formal meeting will be at 7 o'clock in the City Council chamber. So we'd love to have you there.
There you go. And of course, the Wayne County Commissioners will meet the following morning, beginning at 8 o'clock with the briefing and 9 o'clock for the meeting, and that's in Commissioner Chambers here on the 4th floor of the Wayne County Courthouse. All right?
All right, that sounds great. Well, Wayne, let's see what we've got with these interviews coming up. Don't forget, Marty Anderson's first, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Kim Best, your host. Joining me today is Marty Anderson. He is an engineer for the city of Goldsboro, and we're going to find out a little bit more about how city engineers work with our community. Welcome to the show, Marty.
Hi, Kim.
We are glad to have you on today.
Glad
There's
to
a
be
lot
here.
of topics and different services that your department offers
Yes.
citizens right here in our community.
Yes, we offer floodplain assistance for property owners. We offer utility locates for companies that are doing construction for our water and sewer lines. We do design work, surveying for the city projects.
Right.
And we do the construction management on those projects as well, like street resurfacing, water lines being installed, sewer lines being installed, things like that.
Well, recently, not too many years ago, talking about floodplains and having to deal with flood issues, we had, and the community knows, we had quite
Oh,
a
yeah.
few continual floods. Tell me how you worked with not only our local citizens, but people across the state that were interested and needed to find out more information about floodplains.
Well, when they come into our office, what we do is we find out where their property is located. We see what proximity they are to the floodplain, and if they're trying to build a house or something like that, in certain instances they have to be elevated or, you know, either with block walls or soil, dirt.
Because they have to meet certain requirements for the state.
Exactly. They have to, in our city, we have a 2-foot freeboard, what we call it. So the bottom floor has to be 2 feet above the base flood elevation.
Excellent. Now, how did that affect people in our community back during Floyd and all these different big hurricanes and big floods that we've had?
Well, the FEMA has a program that will help property owners become compliant with the new rules and regulations. And they provide funds for that purpose. And we can certainly provide them information if they were to come in and ask.
Perfect. Well, if a person moves to Goldsboro, or say they're already a resident here in Goldsboro and they want to build a new house,
Right?
how would you be interacting with someone if that was a part of their new construction or something like that? How would you interact with those people? Why would you interact with them?
Well, first of all, when they come in, they're going to need building permits and things like that.
That's part of one of the departments that you work with.
Exactly. And when they go through that process, in that checklist is the property in a floodplain?
There you go.
Then they start interacting with us. Yes.
So you go out to their property.
In some instances we do. Most of the time we can find their property on the GIS, our city GIS system. They can actually do that too themselves by going to our website and clicking the ArcGIS link, and they can find their property within the city of Goldsboro
Well, how about that?
on the computer. So,
I didn't know that. That's another thing I've learned today. That's excellent. Well, tell me about water and sewer taps, how you work with the community on a situation like that.
well, sometimes property owners have problems with their water and sewer taps, and then sometimes they're coming in to get new water and sewer taps. So they come into our office. My staff helps them fill out the proper forms and direct them to where they need to pay for the fees and things like that. And then we coordinate getting the sewer or water tap installed, and that's usually installed by Public Works.
Okay, which is another one of the city's departments.
Right. We interact with a lot of city
It
departments.
sounds like it. Well, when somebody is interested in finding out or locating a water or sewer tap, you do the same thing as well?
Well, they call in to us. We send our surveyor out who uses our GIS to find those, to pinpoint where those water and sewer lines are, yes.
Wonderful.
Like if they're putting up a fence or something in there,
Okay.
you know, along the front, road front or something like that, then we would definitely want to locate it so they don't hit it.
Exactly, exactly. How about if somebody is redoing a driveway or something like that? Redoing a driveway, is that something they would need to contact the city for?
If they're affecting the driveway apron that connects into our curb and gutter or into our street, then yes, they would need to contact us so we can make
What
sure.
would you do?
We would send our inspector out, and well, first thing they do is they come into the office and get a permit. Permit's free, so it's just to let us know that you're doing the work so that we can inspect it and make sure that it conforms to our standards.
And why is this important?
It's important because it affects our streets. You know, if they go in and don't put it in right, and somebody liability purposes,
Exactly.
just to simply state it, liability purposes.
For both themselves and for the city.
Exactly.
Right. Well, tell me about your community rating system. You're a participant in that, right?
Yes. The City of Goldsboro is in what FEMA calls the community rating system, which is part of the floodplain development. And what it does is ISO, which is the insurance rating organization, has rated Goldsboro at an 8. Now it's on a scale from 1 to 10. When you enter the program, you start out as a 9. Well, we do things a little bit more stringent, so it gives us a lower rating. And we're actually saving the citizens approximately $50,000 a year over all of the policies within Goldsboro.
Just by being a participant?
Being a participant and maintaining that program, maintaining our status we're actually an 8.
And that's good.
That's
an 8
good.
is good.
An 8 is good.
Wonderful. So, because you want it to be lower than a 9.
Right, right. The farther you go down, the more you save.
Wonderful. That's good to know. That's good to know. Tell me a little bit more about ditch piping.
Sometimes we get calls from citizens that want to pipe a ditch.
Tell me what that means. For somebody like myself who's not really sure what you mean.
It's like it's just an open ditch, and they want to, say, put a pipe in it, put dirt over the top of it, grow grass so they can mow it a little bit easier.
Okay.
And so what we will do is we will do this design work, and then we will coordinate with Public Works for them to do the installation.
Excellent.
And that one costs, though. The material costs the property owner.
But most of the services do not?
The installation does not.
Wonderful. Tell me a little bit more about different situations people would need to come get permits.
Anytime they do any kind of development, they would have to come in.
For example?
For example, a new restaurant coming up, building a house, any kind of development within the floodplain.
Say I wanted to build a deck on the back of my house. Do I need to come get a permit?
You would need to get a permit from building inspections, more than likely.
Okay, sounds good. And I think that's one of the things the community doesn't always understand and is not maybe always aware of. That anytime there's, whether it's building or whether you're extending your yard, whether you're putting a pipe in a ditch, whether you're tearing up your driveway because you need something redone, we don't always know that we need to get permits beforehand.
Oh yeah, yeah, we run into that a lot too.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Give us one of the most interesting things that through the years as you've worked with, whether it's local citizens or whether it's working with the state, in your particular job, what's been one of the most interesting things you've run across? I know I'm just throwing this on you.
Oh boy.
I didn't give you a prep on this one.
No, you didn't give me a prep on this one. Gosh, I can't really think of one. No, you put me on the spot here. Yeah, you put me on the spot. I'm sure I can think of one after I leave.
Of course you can. Of course, that's just the way it works, right? Interview. That's all right. That's all right. Well, that's what we wanted to make sure that the community understands. You work with contractors. You work with local citizens. You're working as an engineer to protect not only our community, but to protect the city of Goldsboro as well.
Right. We work with other engineers, other developers, contractors, construction people. I mean,
and as Streetscape moves forward in the upcoming year, tell me how you will be involved in that particular situation.
Well, right now we're actually involved with it in the design process. We're, reviewing the preliminary plans, making sure they conform to our rules and regulations, and then when it goes, and we're coordinating the utilities being relocated, as well as we'll do the construction management side, the construction inspection and coordination with the contractor.
Sounds like you're a pretty busy guy.
Yeah, we can be busy at times.
I bet you can. I bet you can. And we want to just say thank you. This is your first time coming on the show and telling us a little bit more about your job, spotlighting what city engineers do, making sure the community is fully aware of all the different jobs that the city offers people here in our community. And we want to make sure we continue to inform you, and we want to remind you, if you do any work in your yard, come get a permit with the city of Goldsboro. Thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate it, Marty. And this is what's happening with the city of Goldsboro.
In the studio today with Nanette Sutton of WAYNET, the Wayne Non-Emergency Transport. Is that right?
That is correct.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Now, WAYNET is probably one of the best kept secrets in Wayne County because it's such a successful program. Well, I don't know why it's a best kept secret, but it's a successful program. And you're the director of this program, and you have a fine staff.
I do.
All right. Well, tell me what is WAYNET for anyone who does not know.
As you said, WAYNET, Wayne Non-Emergency Transport.
Yeah.
We take patients, citizens to the doctor, to dialysis. We transport from facility to facility, whether it be from a nursing home, retirement center to the hospital, or from hospital to hospital. We make trips with our Wayne County EMS paramedics.
And these are qualified, licensed, accredited paramedics.
Yes.
These are paramedics. So if anything at all goes wrong, they're paramedics.
That is correct.
They're paramedics, and they're there to help and to treat.
Yes.
Or to attend to.
That is on the trips now from hospital to hospital.
From hospital to
Right.
hospital. Now but now it is non-emergency transport, which means that this is not, you're not called out for accidents or anything like that unless
EMS gets busy, or we are able to help them out, just staging in between our appointments and helping them out, and then we can go on calls, because ours are licensed EMTs.
Right. So does that happen often?
Yes.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
You're called out to help and to assist.
Yes, we are.
And you have sirens and all that on all your trucks and all
do.
that? Okay, good. Now I know that at one time you were talking about getting new paint jobs on your
And we did.
You did.
We did.
And they are looking good.
They are. It says WAYNET and has our phone number on the side. Yes.
And WAYNET, the number on the side is
919-705-1956.
aha. You know, if you look at the bottom of the screen right now, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see WAYNET. The number is 919-705-1956.
That is correct.
All right. And we're talking with Nanette Sutton, who's director of that. How long have you been director of WAYNET?
2 years.
And what did you do before this?
I actually came to work with the county in February of 2002 as working with EMS.
okay.
And then in a couple years after that became office manager for emergency services, which encompasses 911, EMS, WAYNET, fire marshal, dispatch. So.
All right, and then after that, WAYNET became a reality, and you were made director?
WAYNET became, started in 2006.
Oh, okay. I knew that.
You did.
Yeah.
You just forgot.
I forgot, yeah.
In 2006, and in 2011, I
Became director.
became, yes.
All right, so what do you find to be unique? And now there has to be other similar services available in other parts of North Carolina and across the country. What would you say is unique about WAYNET compared to other services offered similarly?
WAYNET, the money that WAYNET makes offsets the cost for our EMS side.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, now there is a cost to everything. Everything costs. There's always expense. There's, of course, there's fuel, there's payroll, there's
right.
expenses and materials and equipment. And EMS, of course, uses a lot of equipment and materials, and
Yes.
when they're out saving lives.
That is correct.
And you're saying that WAYNET, who charges, by the way, obviously,
Obviously.
you charge for your service.
We do.
Rightly so.
Yes.
You are successful in that regard, so much so that you're actually able to offset the cost of EMS.
We do, which in turn offsets the tax increase for the citizens of Wayne County.
Oh my goodness! How about that?
Yes.
Now that's a nice arrangement.
That is a very nice arrangement.
Now,
Do you want your county taxes to go up?
well, let me think about that. No.
Me either.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Well, that's the good news. Now, what about the who pays though? I mean, not all clients who use WAYNET can afford to pay.
Oh no, we file their insurance.
Okay, so you accept insurance?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, we
And
do.
is this for absolutely any citizen who needs help in getting from point to point?
Yes, they can contact our office and we can set it, talk with them and figure out what they've got going on and what insurance they have, and we can let them know.
So if an individual is sitting at home and let's say they're wheelchair bound and they have to have an appointment at the doctor's office and they have their relatives are out of town or something like that, now what do you do?
We can pick them up. Now, insurance, there is no insurance company that will pay for a wheelchair trip.
Okay.
But
No
we
insurance.
can work, we can talk with them and work.
You work something out?
We can.
Okay. If that's the only way in the world they can get
Oh,
there,
yes.
you work something out with them?
Most definitely.
Okay. All right. So, but now, what are your most common cases when you're out transporting people? What would be the most common, would you say?
Dialysis and to doctor's appointments.
Okay. All right. Well, now, what would be the difference between a dialysis appointment and the person who's wheelchair bound and can't get to the doctor?
Our dialysis patients are stretcher bound.
Okay. All right. Well,
They cannot ride in a wheelchair or sit up.
Okay.
So that there is a difference,
Yeah.
and insurance recognizes that difference, and that's why they do not pay for a wheelchair trip.
Okay. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Because I would have to think that insurance companies may feel that, well, they could get in a car. If they're wheelchair bound, they can at
That
least
is
sit in a
correct.
car or sit in a cab or something.
Right.
Okay. All right. I can understand that. So would that be the most of your patients are dialysis patients, the bulk of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Doctor's
yeah.
appointments. This is a toss-up between the two.
Okay, but it's actually just about anything at all.
It is.
Just
It
about
is.
anything at all.
Any citizen in the county that has any question, I mean, we do make out-of-town trips. We do go to doctor's appointments in other counties. We have transported to other states.
Really?
Yes.
So if someone here has let's say they're at a doctor's office and the doctor says, you've got to go to Greenville, or you have to go to WakeMed, or you have to go to Moses Cone. You put them in the back of that WAYNET truck or vehicle and you boogie to the hospital.
Here we go.
How about that? And the insurance generally will cover that.
Generally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an exception, I imagine, to everything.
There is an exception, and we have a billing company. We use EMS Management Consultants out of Louisville. And any questions, we have, account representatives that help us. And if we have any questions or concerns for the clients, we can contact them.
All right. During the course of emergency calls, when you're called out to assist with ambulance calls, how often does that happen?
It does happen.
On a regular basis?
It does.
You guys run 24/7?
Yes, we do. I have 3 shifts just like EMS.
Yeah.
And we have full-time staff there 24/7.
All right. So anyone who has any questions at all about WAYNET, Wayne Non-Emergency Transport, which also is an emergency transport sometimes,
true.
all right, can call your office.
Yes, they can.
And that number again?
919-705-1956.
All right. Nanette, thank you so much
Thank
for being
you.
with us today.
Appreciate it.
All right. I hope we've kind of shed a little light on WAYNET for you there. And we've had Nanette in before. You ever try to say that? Had Nanette? That's hard to say.
Nanette at WAYNET.
There you go. Nanette at WAYNET. Call Nanette at WAYNET
There you
at,
go.
again, 705-1965. Thank you.
1956.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
1956. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Natasha Francois from the Wayne County Public Library, and today we will be reading How Do Dinosaurs Say Goodnight by Jane Ewan and Mark T. How does a dinosaur say goodnight when Papa comes in to turn off the light? Does a dinosaur slam his tail and pout? Does he throw his teddy bear all about? Does the dinosaur stomp his feet on the floor and shout, "I want to hear one book more"? Does the dinosaur roar? How does the dinosaur say goodnight when Mama comes in to turn off the light? Does he swing his neck from side to side? Does he up and demand a piggyback ride? Does he mope? Does he moan? Does he sulk? Does he sigh? Does he fall on the top of his covers and cry? No, dinosaurs don't. They don't even try. They give a big kiss They turn out the lights. They tuck in their tails. They whisper, "Good night." They give a big hug, then give one kiss more. Good night, little dinosaur. The end. Today we have been reading How Dinosaurs Say Goodnight by Jane Yulin and Mark T.
And we're back. He's not the kind of engineer I thought he was. I kept
right.
waiting for the train, you know, but it didn't
Nope,
happen.
different type of engineer.
Different type of engineer, but he's a smart guy.
He is very smart, and
Yeah.
he is very involved, well, like he said, with all the projects that are happening throughout the city, and he really keeps things on track.
And I'll tell you what, Nanette Sutton has done a wonderful job with WAYNET, the Wayne Non-Emergency Transport here in Wayne County. And that is a growing agency. It's a department here for the county. We're so proud of it.
I would think so.
She's done a wonderful job, and she has an amazing staff out there. So kudos to Nanette Sutton and the staff of WAYNET.
Thank you for keeping us informed.
And that was fun, the library, the
Yeah,
reader.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
fun. We're going to have more of that, as you say.
I'm glad we are.
I, too.
Business after hours. The Wayne County Chamber of Commerce, always has their business after hours, and it's an opportunity for you to come mingle with other business people in your community and make contacts and find out other businesses that you might be interested in here in our community. It's going to be Thursday, September the 19th at Doug Henry Buick GMAC, and it's from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Love to have you come out and join us.
Hey, that's
Business after hours.
Right, and that's on Highway 70 bypass.
It sure is.
Or right off on the service road there. But
It certainly is, right there beside Pete's Inn.
yeah. Oh, boy.
5:30 to 7. Join us.
Okay, today, September 10th. Today is the day Elias Howe patented the lock stitch sewing machine.
Lock stitch.
It happened on this day, 1846. And on 1935, for the first time anywhere, people actually heard, they were actually able to go to the movies and hear, "I'm Popeye the Sailor Man, toot
Oh,
toot."
wow.
Yeah, he toot-tooted. He did. Popeye was heard for the first time on NBC Radio. That's where they heard him. Show based on the LZ Chrysler Seeger comic strip, which featured Popeye, Olive Oyl, Brutus, Wimpy, and Sweet Pea.
How you go?
And there you go. And now eat your spinach in celebration. And it's a funny story about spinach. Everyone, well, the spinach, the story of spinach.
Yes.
It's got so much iron in it that it just makes you stronger and you feel good and all that.
Yes.
Well, all that's true, except it doesn't have as much iron or stuff as they thought it had, because back when they were testing it and trying to get the numbers of the ingredients, it has this much of that and this much of this and all that. Somebody moved the decimal point on iron, and it was an incorrect number, and nobody caught that until years later.
Oh my goodness, they really promoted spinach extremely hard.
Yes.
To be this almighty food
Yeah.
full of nutrients, and it is.
It is.
But maybe not quite as much as they.
Not as much as they
promoted.
thought. It doesn't make your arms grow this big, but I love spinach.
I like it too. Now I don't eat it right out of a can or anything.
Well, I've been known to do that too.
I've heard many people that say they do that.
Yep. Yep.
But I like it on pizza and all kinds of goodies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The year was 1955 when James Arness brought Marshall.
Spit it out, Wayne. Spit it out.
Okay.
again.
Marshall Matt Dillon to life on this night, 1955. Gunsmoke debuted on CBS television. It went on to
Really?
become
Today?
1955. Now you know how long ago that was. A long time ago.
Yep.
57 years. Yeah. 50 something like that. Anyway.
57, 58, somewhere along there.
Bunch of years back. It was the longest running television series. It was on for 20 years. The pioneer in adult westerns also starred Milburn Stone as Doc Adams. And we have our own Doc Adams here in Wayne County. You know that.
I know that.
Anyway, Milburn Stone, who was an accomplished actor already. Of course, Amanda Blake as Miss Kitty Russell. And Dennis Weaver as Chester. What was Chester's last name? Let's see. It was Good. That was his last name. Chester Good. Other well-known performers joined the cast throughout the years. Of course, that was Ken Curtis, who was the ever so popular Festus Hagen.
Boy, he was. He made that show, didn't he?
He did. He was just fantastic.
Every show needs a good comedian.
He was one of the. Yeah, they do. Festus, played by Ken Curtis, was quite a talented actor. Otherwise, he couldn't have played Festus. But he was also one of the Sons of the Pioneers, the singing organization, Sons of the Pioneers, years earlier. And a lot of people don't know that and don't remember that, but he was an extremely talented singer.
Gunsmoke, that many years ago.
Gunsmoke, that many years ago. And of course, did you know Burt Reynolds was also a character, a
No,
regular?
I did not. And I watched it as a child, but I don't
Yeah,
remember.
he played Quint. All right?
Okay.
And of course, he was the town blacksmith. But there was a lot of others as well. A very popular program, Gunsmoke.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
It was. Who's on tomorrow's program?
Let's see. Tomorrow we have Miss Betsy Roseman on with Travel and Tourism,
All
giving
right.
us updates across the entire county.
Okay.
And we have Blue Star Highway.
Oh,
What is that?
oh, you got to watch this.
All right.
You got to watch this. We've got Anna Lawson and Dr. Betty Lewinsky
Slowinski.
coming in.
Spit it out.
What? I can't get it out today. Yeah. All right. Anyway, they're going to be in talking to us about the Blue Star Highway and how we want to put one here in Wayne County. Going to tell you how you can do that. All
Sounds
right?
great. Stay with us. Join us tomorrow, 7
And
a.m.
until then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.